Don't do that.
Oh my god.
After being hit by TX's electromagnetic cannon, the hydrogen battery inside my body was severely damaged. I removed the damaged battery and threw it away. The explosion was terrifying. I originally had 2 batteries inside me, but now I only have 1 left. I took John and Katie to the cemetery. We walked into the crypt. I smashed the panel engraved with Sarah's name, dragged the coffin out and pried open the lid. Inside were not remains, but a pile of weapons. John fell silent for a moment. Sarah had actually died of leukemia. While he was lost in his emotions, Katie had already picked up a gun and aimed it at me, intending to take the opportunity to escape. I snatched the gun from her. Just then, the police arrived and fired smoke grenades into the room. Katie took advantage of the chaos to run out. I carried the coffin out of the room, and the police outside immediately opened fire on me. I raised my machine gun and fired back in rapid succession, knocking over every police car outside. I shoved the coffin containing John into the trunk of a car and immediately gave chase after the fleeing Katie. Just then, a figure approached Katie, slowly transforming into TX. Raising its arm, the electromagnetic cannon was primed and ready to fire at Katie. I arrived just in time in my car and blasted TX away with a rocket. I told Katie, don't be afraid, I'll protect you. Before I could finish speaking, TX leaped onto the roof from above and began cutting through the metal panel with a cutting torch. John fired his machine gun upward from inside the car to buy us time. I slammed my foot on the gas pedal and forced the car through the underside of an oncoming truck, finally shaking off TX. The car nearly fell apart in the impact, instantly transforming into a convertible sports car. TX's weapon system was damaged, so it immediately switched to rifle mode. Was that a case of trading a shotgun for a cannon? After escaping, I told Katie that her father was the general in charge of the Skynet project and that in 3 hours, Skynet would launch a nuclear missile at him to eliminate him. Katie pleaded with me to save her father. I agreed. It was Katie herself who had sent me back in time to carry out this mission, so I took orders from her alone. At that moment, the general was overwhelmed by the virus outbreak. Multiple military bases had lost contact one after another under the virus's onslaught, and pressure and temptations from higher-ups came in rapid succession. Ultimately, the general decided to activate Skynet, letting the artificial intelligence eliminate the virus. Meanwhile, TX had already infiltrated the base and taken control of the combat robots inside. Within mere seconds of its activation, Skynet had completely eradicated the virus. However, immediately afterward, Skynet suddenly went haywire and began taking over all military systems. Everyone looked at each other in utter bewilderment. TX immediately disguised itself as Katie, attempting to get close to the general and assassinate him. I rushed in just in time and forced it to revert to its true form. The crowd scattered in panic, but the general stood frozen in place, watching everything unfold before him. TX rose from the ground, raised its pistol, and fired several shots at the general, who was struck and fell to the ground. I launched a fierce assault on TX, forcing it to retreat step by step until I finally knocked it right out of the room. Meanwhile, the robots controlled by TX had already begun a frenzied massacre of personnel throughout the base. Upon learning that Skynet had developed self-awareness and was about to launch nuclear missiles at humanity, the general struggled to crawl toward his office, opened the safe, and retrieved the red envelope inside, which contained a codebook. He ordered us to take the codebook and head immediately to the secret base. Before he could finish speaking, a drone fired a missile into the room. The general was killed in the attack.